Look at all these boxes piled up on the floor. I think it's time to do a mailbag. Let's look at some things people have sent me either as gifts or to repair and see if we can get some things working. All right, this guy emailed me. He's like, hey, would you like some calculators? I have extra calculators. And I'm like, you had me at extra calculators. But then he also showed me his YouTube channel. He goes by 10p6. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel below. What he did was he did this 3D render of what he thought it would be really cool if like Spectrum had gotten the education contract instead of Acorn, you know, back in the UK in the early 80s. And I was watching his video and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a neat render. But then he builds it. It's so awesome. It's like a Spectrum with like 2 micro drives and expansion bays. So yeah, he basically 3D printed the whole thing. Yeah, so check it out. I'll put a link below. This looks like a bag of dry ice or something. Yeah, packing. I always save my packing materials. Packing materials are expensive. That's why you go to the post office, it's like, we do not provide tape. That packing tape, like kind of tape, it is not cheap. Well, this is very well packaged. Seems like the kind of thing I would not want to have sitting in the back seat of my car if I got stopped by the cops. All right, let's see what... Okay, here's something. Feels like... What is it? Oh, it's an electronic calculator! Oh my gosh! Holy... Oh man, that is old school. Does it still work? It looks like it's got a really primitive LCD on it. Oh, looks like there's another, I'm guessing a calculator. Well, thank you so much for sending this to me, person whose name I'm not supposed to repeat. Made in Malaysia. All the best stuff's made in Malaysia. Does it slide out like... Oh, beautiful. Oh, it's an old Hewlett-Packard. Well, let's see, a Mort Int round program. Oh, this is probably meant for like finance. Yeah, oh yeah, bond, depreciation, clear, beginning, end. Does it turn on? Oh, it does. Oh, look at those. Look, it's, oh, that's so sweet. What's that number mean? Okay, how do I clear it? It must be in some sort of, it must be in some mode I do not understand. Oh, that is, oh, it's so sweet. Oh, there's got instructions in the back. Date, interest, amort, which would be amortization, bond, and depreciation. Oh, okay, so yeah, you could use this to figure out the value of your assets over time. It's above average quality fake leather, or faux leather, which is just French for fake. Well, I have to say, this is one of the most nicely packed things anyone's ever sent me. This feels like a Texas Instruments. And it is. Oh, it's a TI-83 Plus. Oh, nice. I have a couple of these. Of course, I just pulled my AAs upstairs. I think you said some of these don't work, so we'll go through that. Oh, yeah, because I found this TI-82 at a Goodwill. I already have one. I don't know why I bought it. Anyway, the screen, they use a conductive glue basically to attach the screen ribbon cable to the main circuit board, which is incredibly cheap considering how expensive those calculators are. Ooh, TI-89. All right, so this is the one that has a Motorola 6800 CPU. He said this one will turn on but not off. Okay. Oh man, you can make a mini Sega Genesis out of this. I guess it already exists. It's called the Nomad. And what's this? What's this? What's this? There's calculators everywhere. This feels like... Don't know. Oh, it's a regular... Wait, do I have a regular 83? I can't remember. This one's in really nice condition. Well, I'm glad he didn't send it with... Zach Chrisman. Oh, wait, that's not this guy's name, is... No, okay, so I wasn't doxing him. Are these all owned by the same guy? Oh, that seems quite unlikely. This one's really clean. The TI-83, that was... Wait. Yeah, the TI-83 Plus. This one's actually, believe it or not, still modern. You can still buy this in stores. I think they made this, oh gosh, like late 90s, early 2000s, whereas the 83 dates back to 96. Cool. Oh no, I've mixed and matched all my cases. They're probably somewhat compatible, although I bet the... Wait, where'd the case for the 89 go? This one was lacking batteries. Patent in the 3 millions, that makes it pretty old. Oh my gosh, it does work. There's a lot of leakage on the display. Can you see it? I mean, it's hard for me to see it and for the camera to see it at the same time. It's definitely from the 70s. Oh, look, here's the instruction books. Wow, I can send away for a calculator manual. ElsaMate. Okay. Thank you for your purchase of the Sharp ElsaMate EL8024. This unit can calculate things precisely. La 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 la. Oh, square root key. Great. Overflow errors. Blah blah blah. Where's the date? You can mail away for a warranty card. Printed in Japan. Oh my gosh! It's a Sharp memo pad! Oh, that is so cool! Oh, so cool. Oh, man. That was so nice of him to send this stuff. I mean, one thing, I've said this before, but one thing I like about calculators is old calculators like this, they're cheap, and they also don't take up much room. So it's a space conscious thing to collect. Because I'm not married, and I have a house, so if I'm not careful, I could go nuts on collecting stuff. So I'm worse than I used to be, though. I used to just not buy anything. But I think what happened in the last year is subconsciously I miss going to video game shows, which is why I enjoy going to Goodwill's. It's a simulation for me. The joy of digging around in bins of games or controllers. Without having that from the shows, I can gain it from Goodwill. That's my self-diagnosis. Feel free to add one below. Well, there's something you don't see very often. A DIP 40 in a calculator. Oh my word. HD 37001B, so that would be, what would that be, Hitachi? What's holding that in place? Hope? Look at the solder wave soldering it laid out by hand. Oh, I found it online. This released in 1977. Always trust your nose. Check this out. There's a button here that matches up with the calculator. So when you put it in place, it clicks in place. Isn't that great? Oh man, they don't build them like they used to. What about this HP 12C? I mean, the styling definitely says the 70s. Look how beautiful that logo is. I can't really smell anything from the outside. Let's do this. Let's take it apart, look inside, make a guess, or, well, if there's any date codes on chips. I mean, there'll probably just be one dedicated chip in this, just like the last one. I'm gonna guess 79 for this one. You know, one thing I'm really good at, well, actually, no, it is relevant to this discussion. I'm actually really good at guessing people's ages. I mean, maybe I was a carny in another life. Look at these. Look at they just got these hearing aid sales. Sales? Hearing aid cells. They still work, so they can't be that old. Little discharged. Another Phillips. Why is my small Phillips upstairs? Oh, well. But yeah, I'm actually pretty good at guessing people's ages. I mean, whenever it comes up, I take a shot at it because I can usually do it within 3 years. Of course, if it's women, I subtract 5 from my guess. And then they're like, hee! It's like, would you like my actual guess or my courtesy guess? A big part of it is people's hands. That's a huge giveaway. Yep, 1 chip. Surface mount. Whoa, 1997? Wow. What? Really? 32nd week of 1997? Really? Wow. I just looked this thing up on Wikipedia. So apparently this is like the best-selling HP calculator of all time. They've been making it since 1981, and they apparently still make it. 2008, they switched it to an Atmel SAM ARM processor. Now they have a Cortex M4 version of it. Wow. Does it still look the same? I mean, it's kind of timelessly beautiful. Oh, I'll just slap it up on the screen. Yeah, they still sell this thing. Apparently with a Cortex M4 processor. On Amazon, it just has a different color. It's silver instead of gold. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Some are silver and some are gold. Oh, that's kind of cheap. They got like just have like a gold plating on the end of. It's cheap. It's covered with gold. They got a gold plating on the end of the PCB, and that just goes right up against the cells. Oh, big tantalum cap there. Wow, I didn't realize this thing had such a storied past. Let's try out these calculators. I've got these Amazon Basics batteries. Now, these aren't like those cheap dollar store batteries. No, these have the word Amazon on them, so you know you can trust it. And nothing on the TI-83. Wait a minute, is it a contrast issue? What did he say about the TI-83? It's crap! Hey, Barbara Streisand! We know you're in there! We're all fans of your crap! You suck! Okay, according to the email, this one doesn't turn on. Okay. That's how professionals remove batteries. This is how we say goodbye in Austria, Dr. Jones. This is how we say goodbye in Germany. I liked the Austrian way better. So did I. Ugh, it's like kissing my dad. I didn't trust her. Why did you? All right, TI-89 does not turn off. Oh man, TI-89 is pretty cool. Wait, it's contrast? Is it contrast? Oh yeah, the contrast is a different button. It's alpha on this one. There we go, alpha, 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 alpha. Yeah, this is a nice high resolution screen. Why won't it turn off though? Second off. Second off. Seems like it turns off, but it turns immediately back on. That could be like a deep bounce issue on the button. It's got a nice screen. Maybe I could take the screen and make my programmer's calculator. Because I obviously need more projects. I'm hoping to have time this summer to catch up on projects. This TI-83 is in really good condition for its, for its age. Aside from this kid. Oh, this kid's been doxxed. Oh, looks like he's got his password on here. Chrism ZW199LB. All right, well, if anyone wants to use that to hack into a Yahoo account from the 90s. I've got all your Yahoo mail, kid. I'm going to blackmail you. That's what happened with that oil pipeline. Let's compare the TI-83s. They're both pretty clean. The one that I have is a little bit more scuffed up on this outer plastic here. Also, this is a minor issue, but you might be able to see it. For some reason, the screen on mine is lower than this one. Oh, Is this the one where I had to manually swap the screen? It might have been. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one is a nicer unit overall. I mean, it's pretty close. Let's see. What about the backs? Well, wait, this one has some of those feet missing, so yeah. So if I put this back with this, I think we got a winner, chicken dinner. And here, we've got a donor unit. Unbelievable. Wow, even crappier batteries. It's like a desperately poor man's dollar store battery. Oh wait, but this one's missing the feet on the calculator itself. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we swap those over. So I can take the back off of my TI-83 and put it onto this TI-83 because that back had the scratchings from the kid on it. Thanks, Eli Whitney. Eli Whitney's ghost floats by. You're welcome. Zoinks! It's like totally the ghost of Eli Whitney! Yeah, this is the calculator where I had to manually rewire the LCD connector because the adhesive, the conductive adhesive they had used failed. It's kind of funny, like you can get a cheap piece of crap toy with an LCD or like, you know, one of those watches I took apart. Like this, it has some connectors on it, but not this expensive TI calculator. No. If you look at this here, you've got like, what? 8 plus 7. So this probably has some sort of parallel bus that actually sends the commands to the LCD, then the LCD controller itself drives the dots. So you probably could interface to this pretty easily if you wanted to use the screen to make your own calculator, like the programmer's calculator I talked about. See, what I would really love, and it's on my to-do list, have it on my phone here, CalcP, on Android. And yeah, you can just, if binary, you just push those particular letters. Hex, you push these. And decimal, you push these. You don't have to convert. Everything's there for you. So if I had a physical calculator like this, that would be super cool. Oh, I got a TI-83 Plus. This one won't turn on. The 83 Plus is the one that uses these dumb star bits and to boot in a really deep hole, so it's hard to get at them. Do I have a screwdriver like that? Like a thin screwdriver? I don't think I do. For my own paperclip moment, I simply countersunk the screw holes just enough to get this bit in. You don't want to see how the sausage is made? This one doesn't have nearly as many clips on it. It's only got, 1, 2, 3. Oh man, look how stripped down this thing is. It's got some memory, and it's probably a NAND flash, and then a main controller chip made by Toshiba. It's always funny to me how these TI calculators never have TI parts in them. I mean, they could. Why don't they? So this one doesn't turn on. All right. Oh, this is different. They're using... Oh my gosh, look at how cheap this is. They just have these contacts. See these contacts? They're just pressing against these pads. That's probably the problem right there. Man, this thing is, it's built down to a price. They made it as cheap as possible. Unbelievable. So cheap. Look, they couldn't even put a cable on. This is just TI just vacuuming money out of the education department. Everybody does that. They're like, oh, look, education. Turn on the vacuum. This one looks like it'd be even easier to interface. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, the power and ground. Well, maybe this could be a donut screen. I don't know. Okay, here's how I'm going to try to get this thing to work. Before I try rebending those tabs, I'm just going to attach power directly to these two pads. What other YouTuber could I impersonate? Did I ever do an impersonation of the 8-bit guy? Besides saying that I have 10 electric cars? It's more, well, it's not his cadence, because he's always like, hello and welcome back to the 8-bit guy. Today we've got this Apple product. He always laughs too. Like, we're going to see if we can get this monitor to work. I found it in a landfill, even though it was actually just behind a shed. And there we go. Now I'm going to play Planet X9 of the Robots. I like David. Yeah, I've actually collaborated with him a couple times. Well, I guess I am making fun of him. Well, no, I'm not making fun. Well, no, I am making fun of him. But he can make fun of me. I'm easy to make fun of. All right, 6 volts. What a lose! A Bobby lose! Well, I'm going to fire up my scope and see if this thing is actually dead or if it's just the screen that's not working. Pictures come alive, you can dance right through the night. Oh yeah, there's definitely bus activity. Oh! I guess it just started working again. What changed? Maybe it just was those contacts. It's like, please don't take my screen from me. Oh, it is the screen. Look at how it's. See? It's this conductive adhesive because TI is cheap. See, when I was doing my show, I wouldn't say something like TI is cheap, but now I'll say it because I don't give a crap. Apple sucks. Nintendo sucks. Who else sucks? I like Microsoft. I won't say Microsoft. I like Microsoft. Or should I use the screen for my own nefarious purposes? Oh, one of these would be contrast. Yeah, I bet this doesn't work much too different than great English. Much too differently from like an HD 44780. I'm thinking the problem is this adhesive contact. So yeah, it's the same thing that causes the Virtual Boy to fail. Its LEDs are connected with an adhesive. It's just cheap. There's no other way to put it. It's cheap. These calculators are just a way to... It's a method of just redistributing wealth from students into TI. TI is like, yeehaw, you hear what that Yankee up north is saying about our company? What's he saying? He's saying that we're vacuuming all the students' money. It's kind of like in Batman Returns. It's like, oh, it appears that your power plant is actually a giant capacitor that sucks power out of Gotham. What did the curiosity do to the cat? It killed the cat. I am totally Donald Trump in this movie. The cast of that movie is really good, but the plot kind of sucks. Yeah, it's definitely this ribbon cable. There's the connections going to the LCD itself from the LCD controller, and then there's the data cable going from the CPU to this, so I'm pretty sure it's the data cable. TI-83 Plus is really common. I'm kind of tempted to just take its screen. I wonder if I could reverse engineer the commands it's sending to the screen. Because if I go online, if I Google, use LCD of a TI for graphics, I know exactly what's going to come up because I've done it before. It'll be a program that you can put on the TI where you can pipe in serial data in the input port, and then it'll just put it on the screen, kind of like a second monitor. But that's not what I wanted. Oh, I had this other cool idea with a part shortage, also because a friend of mine was buying a boat, or bought a boat. And that was to make a TI-83 fish finder. So you'd use this as the screen, and then you'd hook up the Sonic stuff down here and look for the fish. And then the joke would be, oh, there's a part shortage. How am I need to find fish. Oh, someone online has already figured this out. It's a Toshiba T6K04 driver, which does 128 by 64, but I think this thing's only, looks like it's 96 pixels wide. 8-bit 6800 type parallel interface, yep. Has a clock, all right. Read, write, graphic command data. Yeah, it's pretty standard stuff. Oh yeah, let's just rip this sucker off. Oh no! You're taking my brain! Should be like a Tim Burton creature. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice! You're probably thinking, why is Ben wasting his time doing this? And why am I watching it? Well, it's been pretty rainy here the last 3 or 4 days. So, my backyard needs to be mowed. And I'm basically procrastinating until the end of the day. Well, the end of the afternoon. Come on, pump. There we go. So, yeah, I'm just procrastinating. This reverse engineering online says the 2004 era of the TI-83 Plus, and then The flash has a 0516, so that's pretty close to 2004. So yeah, apparently you just dump data over to it. Well, and then you set like the column and row and then whatnot. You know, I think it might actually kind of cool is to have it oriented like that. So like your numbers can pile up higher. Or you could have part of the, yeah, you could have it like some of the keys here, like maybe the hex is here, like 8 and 8. And then you have decimal here and then binary here, and then you have your operators here. That would look really cool. Yeah, 96 across by 64 high. 6100 pixels divided by 8 since it's monochrome. Oh, 768 bytes. Oh, I can easily have enough buffer space for that. You know, YouTube might have claimed part of that video I made in the car, but they can't claim this. All alone I have cried, silent tears filled with pride, in a town made of steel, made of stone. Dun, 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 dun. What a feeling. I am music now. Please believe in I am rhythm now. Pictures come alive, you can dance right through your life. Ah yes, the holy trifecta of cheesy 80s dance movies. It was Flashdance, Footloose, and of course, Dirty Dancing. I don't know, I think I like Dirty Dancing the best. Great, now I can hook it up to a microcontroller to test it. I can probably use that same Arduino Mega that I hooked the watch LCD up to. Alright, I found a data sheet for the controller. It's a Toshiba chip that actually drives the LCD pixels itself, or themselves. And it was pretty easy to read the data sheet and make it work with an Arduino. So cool, maybe I can use the screen in a future project. Alright, I guess we'll take a look at that TI-89 now. It's 3:52 in the afternoon. Go take care of that lawn here soon. That kind of rhymed. It's 3:52 in the afternoon, and I'm gonna have to go and mow my lawn soon. But baby, 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 don't you forget about my lawn. With every blade of grass, I dream about your butt. Sir, we have a dilemma. What is it? Private? Ben's no longer just singing music on YouTube. What do you mean? He's making up new music. Dear God, someone inform the president. Has the same incredibly cheap design where we just have these tabs floating in the breeze, touching against these pads here. Let's lift up the shielding. Oh, wow. Look at all that advanced math stuff. Got a Motorola 68,000. Then you got 2 RAM chips and flash NAND. The LCD controllers are soldered right to the screen. Then probably this is your general glue logic, you know, basically system arbiter, keyboard scanner. So why won't it turn off? Well, let's do the same thing we did before and apply power directly to it. Positive. Turns on. 1 divided by 9. Will it turn off? Same issue. Maybe it's some sort of failsafe, since there is no battery in it. The spring-loaded battery of death. Let us hurry! We have nothing to fear here! That's what scares me, Doc Ock. Yes, that was Alfred Molina in Raiders of the Lost Ark, who goes into the cave with Indiana Jones. Did I screw up those tabs? I may have. Alright, I put the tabs back in, power it up. 1 divided by 9. You know, the HPs, they make it a lot easier. Just push one button to change that. I think it's called exact mode. Well, whatever. Let's try to turn it off. Stays off. So was it just the backup battery? Maybe it's like, oh, that could have been like a safety feature. Like, oh no, you don't have the backup battery, so I'm not going to fully turn off so you don't lose your memory or whatever. Let's see. Memory, all alone in the moonlight. Shut up! I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful. Nope. That appears to have not been the issue, but I seem to have fixed it. It must have been something with the contacts, because when I went in there, there was a lot of gunk and wear on this tab, so what I did was I just tinned them with solder. I guess I could attach a wire. See, they just got these press tabs. It's pretty cheap. You could call it overkill insurance, like having hurricane insurance in Alberta, Canada. Probably need boredom insurance if you live up there. Hello, I'm a lizard, and I'd like to sell you some overkill insurance. Do you need insurance on your boat in case you hit something going 10 miles per hour? Well, I can help you. I'm a lizard. Oh, I guess that's not entirely accurate. Went down to Janesville last weekend to check out the Cuphead homebrew pinball machine that a guy was making. He invited me over, and on my way there, I saw all these trucks towing boats, and it seemed like everyone that passed me, the engine kept getting bigger. So it was like there was like a 30 horse, then there was like a 50 horse. Yeah, it was all in sequence. 80 horse, and then 200 horsepower. Even rude. It's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, that boat could go fast enough to need insurance. Cause some major damage. I guess I'm just thinking of, well, yeah, I mean, boats like that, those things can cost like 100 grand, 150 grand, no problem. I don't see why you really need that. I mean, you're like an old middle-aged guy. You're already married. Like, who are you trying to impress? I guess your buddies, maybe? I mean, if it floats and I can sit in it drinking beer, that's enough for me. Actually, I was thinking about buying a boat. It's like, we got these big 2 giant lakes here in Madison, taking up all of the land, making our land super expensive. So maybe I should get something out of those lakes, you know? I should, put a boat onto them. All right. Escape. I guess I could build a boat. There we go. Problem solved. That shop bot that I have. Met that guy several times at Maker Fairs, and he told me that the reason he started that company was because he wanted to build a CNC machine and use it to build boats. And the ironic thing is, 20 some years later, he still hasn't built his boat. I guess that's what is that? That's the tale of what the carpenter's son has no wood. No, wait. The shoemaker's kids have no shoes. Or I guess you'd call it the shoemaker because, hello, I'm Mr. Schumacher. Well, no, there's still people whose last name is spelled shoemaker. I think there's a lot of names based off professions. There's Schumacher, Miller, Weaver, Carpenter, obviously. Maybe there's someone whose last name is Farrier. This one has the algebra function where it'll actually find missing variables for you. So it'll basically do your algebra for you. I don't need 2 of these. Does anyone need this for college? I'll totally send it to you because I already have one. Nice. All right. Well, we got the calculators to work, even though I gutted the one because I wanted the screen. But yeah, problems weren't too hard to solve. I think they all just involved TI's really crappy battery contacts. Hello, we're TI. We are really proud of ourselves because we're Texans. Not only are we Texans, we have the name of our state in our company. Not only that, we have the shape of the state in our logo. Can you tell we're Texans? Oh, I'm not trying to be mean to all my Texas viewers. I'm just making fun of them. Hey, they can make fun of Wisconsinites. They'd be like, ha, I'm a Wisconsinite. I pay really high property tax, and yet I have to snowplow my driveway. Also, I'm a huge drunk. Now it's Sunday. I've been doing some day drinking with some working man's beer. Miller High Life. Working man's beer. That's also a code name for day drinking beer. I was like, you know, cleaning my garage and putting up shelves and, you know, that kind of stuff. Don't worry, I've only had like 4. That was over the course of like 4 hours, so I basically feel nothing because I'm a Wisconsinite. One more thing here. Let's see. All right, so a guy sent me a wind detector, and the idea, he wants me to 3D print a replacement cup for it. This is a Heathkit ID 1290 weather station. Let's take a look. Man, he sent this like a month ago. Oh, cool! Look at an old Heathkit instruction manual. Man, I feel bad, but I don't get caught up on stuff. But I should have more time. Looks like, okay, don't want to dox him. Oh, look at this old book. It's Heathkit. So cool. Parts priceless. Everything was free. Oh, so cool. Heath Company, Benton Harbor, Michigan. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at the little window. That is so great. Copyright 1973. So believe it or not, back in the day, Schlitz was actually the biggest beer brand. But then Miller created Miller Lite, which was the first light beer. I think it was the early 70s. And then they started to dominate. They kind of took over. I think Schlitz is also in Wisconsin because all beer is in Wisconsin. Well, anyway, you know, you have like Budweiser and Bud Light. So it's like, where is the regular Miller? Well, the regular Miller is Miller High Life. Oh, it's a thing that detects the speed of wind. So what he wants me to do is to use 3D printing to replace this broken cup. So why didn't he glue it back together? It looks like he's missing the pieces he would need to completely reconstitute it. I wonder how does this detect? Does it have like magnets in it or something? Sounds like magnetic leaf switches. He didn't send the base unit. What I would assume it would do is it would count the switches, and then based off the number of, well, you know, the proximity of switch connections over time would give you a wind speed. I guess the question is, should I redo the whole thing or just this missing portion? Right now it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. Ha ha! I'm going to buy every company on Earth! Ha ha! I'm Mickey! Bud, what are you doing? Are you whining outside my door of my secret lab that you could not come into? There's a secret lab. Don't think twice. Oh, we might as well take this apart. You've gone 1,000,000 miles. How far'd you get? That place where you can't remember and you can't forget. Oh, Bruce Springsteen, a millionaire singer who makes songs about blue-collar problems he hasn't had to deal with since the Lyndon B. Johnson era. When did Bruce Springsteen pop onto the scene? He was one of those Asbury Park people, if I recall correctly. That's over in Jersey. I think that's where Bon Jovi came from. You know, a cool website I used to like to go to was weirdnewjersey.com. It talked about weird things in New Jersey, if that wasn't self-evident. It talked about Asbury Park a lot. Asbury Park, well, I mean, it's still there. It's kind of like a boardwalk tourist trap town in the Atlantic Ocean. But a lot of it is... Oh. Okay, I don't want to mess with this, but yeah, if you look at that in there, I'm pretty sure that's a reed switch in that glass tube. And then a magnet is basically opening and closing it. Bud, I'm trying to do surgery on old things. You mean like yourself? Laugh now, fuzzball. You won't live to be 45. I think Bud's upset because I spent most of my day in my garage. Bud, I gave you beef jerky earlier. What more could you want? Yeah, there's just like multiple magnets sandwiched in this disc. Is Jerry Maguire the most forgotten movie ever? The movie was a big deal when it was released. What was that, 19 96 or 7. Yeah, somewhere around there. You know, like, show me the money! And you complete me. You had me at hello, you know. That movie was like the dead center of the cultural lexicon. Oh man, I sound like I'm writing a movie review. Jerry Maguire perfectly captured the zeitgeist of 1996. I mean, now you would do this with a Hall effect sensor, but, you know, it was the 70s. Hey, look at the color inside. It's white. This thing needs some retro bright. I was just thinking, it's not just the size. We also have to match the weight of it in order for it to be accurate. I mean, well, I'm sure this guy's just doing this for a hobby, but, you know, it's not like he's going to hook this thing up to the National Weather Service. The thing is, if you print this, if it's like in midair, it's got all these different shapes. Like if you're just printing this cone, that would be the best way to do it, right? But no, yeah, the thing, you know, no, oh yeah, the thing coming off the side. Oh, but then you could print it like that, have this come off to the side, and then attach that separately or glue it. No, because the thing is, if I print just this, it's going to be a different weight. And then you're like, oh, I could use some hot glue to secure it or put a screw on it. It's going to be a different weight. And this thing's going to be like a bad bearing. So this would have been injection molded from a single piece. If you look on the inside, you can see those 3 circles. Those are called witness marks. That's where rods actually push the plastic out of the mold. There'd also be a fill spur where the plastic is inserted. I'm not really seeing that. That might have been snipped off, or it might have been like right there. A slightly conical top there, because we also have a slightly conical top there. Although there's probably a slight difference in the thickness, like here versus here, because you never actually have something that's like truly flat in a mold because it needs to be able to release. Now I'm in Fusion 360 on my computer. Don't worry, I got another beer. All right, I'm going to draw this thing in profile. My hunch was correct. The main cylinder is not consistent in its diameter. 2.375. Ben, you're not very consistent in your speech. I'm fine. It is different. 2.325. And I'm just guessing, probably 100% correctly, that this thing was designed in Imperial because it was made in, Michigan. It actually is a little smaller at the bottom. That's not quite what I expected. But this baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Shop smart. Shop S-Mart. 1.057. So let's take this. 1.507. Egg and my face would have been in alignment. Are you really sure that you should drink and do designs? It's like, I'm a Wisconsinite. This has no effect on me. All right, the wall is 0.058. And down here at the bottom, it just kind of, tapers off. And then we also have to draw the conical part. So I'm just going to continue that there. And I'm going to go into trim. This is, oh, bud. 0.5, yeah, it's funny. Like, everything is Imperial. Go home. Go drunk. You're home. If you lived here, you'd be home already. But stuff like this is pretty easy to draw. You just draw it in profile, and then you do a revolve. 0.143. So then if I want to draw the hole, or where the machine screw goes, the hole diameter was 0.143. So then since I'm drawing half of it, I divide that by 2, and boom. And then you just take this, and you go revolve, and boom, you've got your shape. Okay, I've got the top portion of this printing so I can make sure that it interfaces. In the meantime, I'm going to design the cups. This thing is almost laughably English. It makes me sound like a European person. Like the center of this and the tip of the point of the cup is exactly 3 inches. All right, so the cup is aligned with the center point, which makes sense. It's exactly 2 inches wide. What a shock. And then we have 45 degrees here. We should be able to get that to link to this. Yep, and there we go. All right, now this point is a certain distance from the outer perimeter. Although, do we have the outer perimeter? I don't think it's part of the sketch because I made it offset from the top. Oh no, my beer is empty. I better open another one. Ah, a champagne of beers. Even though I'm an Irish Wisconsinite, I usually never drink until like 8 or 9 o'clock. But it's a holiday weekend. All right, so then we have the arms connecting this to the main body. That part I'm not exactly sure about yet. I'm just going to draw 2 sides of it to start with. Measure the thickness of the arm on the x-axis is 0.31 inches. Oh, and BTW, the thickness of this. It was the thickness of the rest of the mold, so that would be negative. Oh, I guess we're going that way. Okay, 0.06. Same thing. I can just basically revolve that to make my object when the time comes. Which also means I'm probably going to want to come in a little further here with the arm to make sure it actually connects into the meat after the revolution. So I mean, I could print the 3 cups individually pretty easily. Can you zoom in on that? I need to find a flat. I mean, the easiest way to do it would be to print this main cylinder and then print the 3 cups and attach it. Just trying to think of the best way to. I mean, I guess I could glue them in place, like glue them and screw them. Oh, also you can see on the inside here, there's a little bit of an indent on the plastic. That's for the bushing to fit into, and this is where the screw attaches. And then there was also a 0.68 inch wide flat portion before you got to the taper. I just realized I don't have to build it the same way. As long as it just fits the same, motor sensor plastic thing. Oh wait, no. That was the width. This is the thickness. Never mind. The thickness of this is 0.1. Oh, wow, what a shock! It's 1/8 of an inch. This is like the most imperial thing I've ever measured. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Sir, the tachyon pulses are exploding the Kardashians. I don't believe you. Well, you don't have to take my word for it. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go creep on some holodeck woman. Oh, yeah. This is easy peasy. We'll just make a flange here. We'll go just like that, and then we can screw that into the side. See how it's cutting into it? That's good. The reason that's good is because that means it will mate correctly. It probably doesn't need to be that large. And then let's take this. Give that a little bit of love. Give me just a little more time. My love will surely grow. On a hot summer's night, would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses? Will he offer me his mouth? Yes. Will he offer me his lungs? Yes. Will he offer me his esophagus? Yes. Yes. On a hot summer's night, would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses? Yes. I bet you say that to all the wolves. It was a hot summer night and the beach was burning. We were blind just around on the sail. Well, the holding of a Bible down the whole world turned by the light of the moon. There's not another person in the park. Right? I looked inside. There's a pretty good gap inside the unit, so we should be able to attach screws or nuts in there. Of course, I guess the question is, how will you drive the screws? Yeah, I'll figure that out later. So then we just, see, just like that. There's no reason to draw the dish 3 times, but we do need to reproduce these. So I'm just going to grab these 2 holes. I'm going to go up to circular pattern, and we've got our 2 objects selected. So I'm going to select the axes, which is going to be the center, and then we'll say 3 total, which is what we want, and that will give us the copies. All right, well, I have the first test of this printed. Printing, I mean. I only have to print like just the top portion to make sure that it fits. So that shouldn't take too long. And then if that works, you know, I can't use PLA because PLA is, the sun can destroy it, animals can eat it. So I'll probably do it out of ABS or possibly nylon, although nylon probably would weigh more. All right, here's my test piece. Let's make sure that it fits. Yeah, seems to fit. Now that piece fit, so let's grab one of these. I'm just going to save it as, I don't know, a cup head. I'm going to try nylon with this guy. Whoop. Then we're going to have our surface right there. Look at that. Yeah, that should print okay without supports. All right, let's see how it turns out. All you got to know is squish that cat. Just squish that cat. Squish that cat. Now we just made friends with this wonderful little cat. No, not my Dremel! I'll put you back out of the street. You will be eating lice and vermin and pestilence. And then the only person who's gonna care about you is Sarah McLachlan.
This poor animal was kicked onto the streets for knocking over its owner's Dremel. For the price of a cup of coffee or something, you can keep this animal from being euthanized. Please don't euth me.
In other non-animal murdering news, it looks like the print's going okay without supports. This is nylon, higher temperature. There's probably a few globs I'll have to clean up, but that should work. This is the largest nylon part that I've printed. Bud, are you destroying my chair? Yeah, look how big Bud is. Bud weighs like 12 pounds now. He's quadrupled in weight. All the parts are printed. I'm gonna screw them and glue them together. Screw them and glue them. Gotta know when to screw them. Know when to glue them. Know when to walk away. When the first layer sticks, you never count your print time. When you're sitting at the super glue got my finger. Got time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Now every printer knows the secret to survival is making your first layer stick and not letting it become spaghetti. Because if it does, you cause an hour's a failure. Then your 3D printer will be broke for a fortnight, which means 2 weeks, not the game that kids play. Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you for joining me for this exciting mailbag feature. Again, normally I request that people don't send me things, but some things I'll accept. Well, I guess we'll see you in the next video.